We got 25 minutes. We got to go.
Hey, everyone.
Hey, yo. What is going on? Happy Hump Day.
Hump Day. My bad. For those on Instagram, my bad.
I know, right? What's going on? IG, what is up, YouTube? How are you guys?
We're really excited to be with you guys today on this Wednesday, June 1st. Wake up, wake up, wake up. It's the first of the month. Everybody get up.
It has been a good month. I hope everybody's doing well out there. Today's going to be a good one, guys.
Really excited for today.
Right,
so should I do the drum roll? Are we ready? Are we ready?
If you could. Guys, today's question is, 1 second. That was now edited. So, it's going to be the longest thing ever. Hold on.
All right. Well, person is doing that. If this is your first time to our show,
thank you.
Welcome to our show. We are Say That Channel. We're here for entrepreneurs who are just starting out, people who've kind of been in the trenches for a while. You see a lot of successful entrepreneurs who have massive success, and we love to hear how they started from nothing. But what happens in between, right? Like what happens during that ugly come up? And so we're unapologetic in speaking truth and life into what happens during that ugly phase. You're probably wondering, what are the pitfalls you need to circumvent? What's the mindset that you need to have? And that's exactly what we're going to focus on. That's who we interview. We interview other entrepreneurs so they can give you the inside scoop on what to expect, things to look out for. And we love talking about this. We're here to build community around this. So if you feel like you're all alone, you are not. Welcome to the community of entrepreneurs. We're here to support each other, whether it's just events or to learn and grow together. So we have 25 minutes on the clock where we answer a question. You have 25 minutes to answer the topic of the day. And then whatever we don't finish, you can catch on overtime on Patreon. So if you feel like supporting us and joining us in our community over there, the Patreon link is down in the comment section. You can just join us on Patreon and you get access to our overtime. So we go a little bit deeper into the topic on overtime. You get behind the scenes, bloopers, outtakes, things like that. And for our highest membership, the memberships are at 10, 25, and $50. And for those of you who do the $50 a month, that includes a training session. So we're really excited to have all of our Patreon community members join us, and we're here. We're here to get it started.
Right. Drum roll, please.
Here's the drum roll. Today's question is, can networking really help your business? I mean, can it really though? I mean, you hear about this stuff all the time, but does it really? So I am really excited because it is not just going to be myself and Winston who talk about this. We have a very special guest with us. I met him within our business and talk about networking, right? Because you all have probably heard that saying, especially if you're in the business world, your network equals your net worth. And that is huge. That is a big part of why he and I met, is kind of building up our networks in that way. He is a serial entrepreneur. He's a philanthropist. He's an actor. He's a fiance. He's honestly like a real thought leader, a budding local politician, and just a really, really good friend. Someone who will actually go and lift really heavy objects for you in the middle of the night with your friends when you need help. So without further ado, please help me welcome Peter Spano.
Please welcome our next guest.
What's up, Yonkers? It's Peter Spano going for Yonkers City Council President. If you haven't voted already, you should do so. The polls are open until 9 p.m. today. Make sure you get to your polling location. Let all your friends and family know. Line 7A, Peter Spano for Yonkers City Council President.
Peter Spano. I'm with my phone.
What is going on?
Hey.
Our production team jumped the gun with that husband bit. Let your fiance know we ain't want to jinx anything.
It's all right. We're only a few weeks away. We're there.
Oh, okay.
We're there already. It's okay.
That's what's up.
So we're really excited because Peter is actually in the same room with one of us. It's the first time this has happened. So like you're already starting new trends. We're really excited about that. So before we get into answering today's question, tell us first, everybody wants to know a little bit about you. How did you get into entrepreneurship? Tell us a little bit about your story and all of that. We'd love to hear that.
Awesome. Well, thank you again both for having me. Really appreciate you sharing platforms and collaborations. And, you know, networking and entrepreneurship has probably been installed in me as a teenager. My family has gotten me involved in a variety of sports, and I learned how to play and then learned the business of the sports, became a coach or a referee, you know, and a mentor to many at a very young age. You know, I love sports and what it does for the world and how it brings, you know, everybody together from all over the universe. And it's a really exciting journey that I've been on, playing and coaching, as I mentioned, starting several businesses growing up and just learning how to create opportunities for myself and others where sometimes they're far and few, and to be able to, you know, hold doors and open up doors for others and share and shine light, you know, in different situations where it may not have been. It's a blessing to be a blessing. And again, I really appreciate it. Appreciate you guys having me. Appreciate you sharing platforms, and it's all about, you know, networking and helping others. You know, we're all in need. The whole world is struggling in some way, shape, or form. And you know, your smile, your attitude, your positive personality can really make a huge dent in this world.
Say that.
It's the mindset. all in the mindset. So a little bit about me. As I mentioned, I'm a sports player, coach. You know, I represent the community in so many different ways. I'm partnered with Hall of Famers and, you know, professional athletes of all sports. We're involved in some really awesome community projects that both Janelle and I have met and shared passion on. I help a woman by the name of Nancy Lieberman. She has built over 120 basketball courts all over the country in some of the worst areas in the world. And it's really, you know, rejuvenated and revived the community and the neighborhood and so many different ways, shapes, and forms.
Amazing. Yeah. It's amazing, right? Giving the kids a safe place to play. So that's really awesome.
Since you brought that up, I do want to actually share. Because I know that philanthropy is a huge part of who you are, Peter. I mean, you saw the last part of the clip where it talked about you running for Yonkers or running in Yonkers. Talk to us about Dream Courts and what, I guess, I know we'll answer the question, but just what that organization is about, what maybe drew you to that. Obviously, the basketball love is there, but where do you see that those courts making a difference in those neighborhoods?
Absolutely. Janelle and I are actually 2 blocks away from a project that we did a few years ago. But 2 blocks. We're going to check it out later and share it with you guys. A park called John Barton that had potholes bigger than some of New York City streets. A lot of drug sales and violence and shooting and, you know, heavy or massive gang presence. We were able to go there and partner with our local YMCA, Police Athletic League, and bring other nonprofits in and really change the whole dynamics of the neighborhood. You know, crime has significantly dropped in the area. There still is crime everywhere in the world, unfortunately, but, you know, we look to see the more positive light and aspect within the community. I got involved with Dream Courts over 10 years ago. There was only 9 or 10 projects when Janelle and I first started doing business together. And we just became extremely passionate. You know, once we saw it in New York, you know, within our grasp, and we saw, you know, a hurricane that wiped out an entire community in Long Beach. You know, we've met other partners, other entrepreneurs, and we're able to, you know, revitalize a lot of communities that would not have been possible if we didn't meet and connect and find common goals and interests in fixing communities and fixing parks and playgrounds and streets and the infrastructure within a community. Because, you know, a park growing up across the street from a basketball court actually changed my whole mentality and perspective in life. Whenever I wasn't feeling as positive as I am, you know, or I usually am, you know, I'd get out there and I'd, you know, work it out, work it off, and just have, you know, the right mindset, practicing every day and, you know, for as many hours as I could, and, you know, just teaching the right mindset. And that really molded me from a teenager to where I am now as an adult, and being able to be a part of all these awesome projects has really been phenomenal, and it's inspired me to start projects in my community and other communities all across the world. I just came back from Los Angeles a few weeks ago and was part of a really awesome project with Kobe Bryant's family. We opened up the 110th court. Fast forward,
Wow.
in less than 10 years, we went from 10 to over 110 and counting. It's
Wow.
really, really phenomenal, with a handful of us just staying extremely dedicated and committed to the cause, and finding other partners and sponsors to be a part of these projects. It's being involved with a lot of these nonprofits over the years has also inspired me to charter 2 nonprofits within the past 3 years. I have a new organization by the name of PS Charities, and I chartered a new Rotary Club, as you see on this hat over here. There's a really awesome organization that helped create the United Nations, and they were very passionate about our idea and ran with it about 3 or 4 years ago, and were able to help us raise $250,000 to fix, a hole in the wall and make it an outdoor Madison Square Garden with a brand new state-of-the-art playground. Like I said, kids weren't used to that. Kids were just used to, being shot at and, running away from people. And now they're coming together and they're doing more positive and exciting things for their families and in the neighborhood. And it's just really inspiring to be a part of something like that.
That's awesome.
That's absolutely huge. So I think that you've essentially answered the question already, because a lot of what you seem like you've a lot of what you guys have built now and what you're continuing to create has come from the fact that you are networking, you are getting out there, and so I know we'll each get into this, but I want to ask you, what is networking to you? Because for me, when I think of initially, I think somebody may think, as a lot of new people go out to networking events, it might just be giving your card to somebody or exchanging Instagrams or or whatever type of contact information. But what would you say is the way to network to allow for people to recognize that you are looking to build or grow something?
Absolutely. That's a very good question, because a lot of people look at it differently. I see somebody within 3 feet of me and I say hello, and that's how it starts. Nice to meet you. I'm Peter. What's your name? What type of work or business do you do? And I find out in like 3 or 4 questions, if that person, needs help or is looking to help, and, they have a heart to serve and to do bigger things than themselves. And like I said, you meet people every day. You go to the grocery stores, you go to Starbucks, you pump your gas at the gas station, all the little things that we do within our 24 hours can make a huge difference. You may meet 10, 15 people a day without realizing it, from getting your lunch or your dinner, or like I said, grocery shopping and just going around the block. You meet new people every single day. Everybody has a story. Everybody has something to share. And we just try to angle it in a way that could be positive and uplifting for them, and for whoever else can be impacted in a positive way with it. And whether it's business, whether it's philanthropy, whether it's just somebody dropped something, you pick it up, somebody's hungry, you have an extra sandwich, here you go. A little bit can go a long way. And we don't realize the impact that our mindset and our attitude and our mentality not only have on ourselves, but on everybody that we touch and say hello to and smile. And if you give them a fist bump, you shake their hand, you give them your website or your social media, and you keep in touch with them, and you really, show interest in their life, and how you could help them, how they could help you, or how you could do things together that could be, mutually beneficial for your surroundings and for your community.
Oh, that's right.
This is so inspiring. Sorry,
Yeah.
just like I'm listening to him, and I mean, you know somebody, and you're like, this, yeah, you kind of get it, but then like you hear like the heart of someone, and I think that like that makes a huge difference. I'm just thinking, like, as someone who's like a business owner, right? Like, you hear networking, right, is supposed to be really good for your business, but a lot of people are even scared to say like, hey, what's your name, right? And I think it's because the mindset is, oh, I need to talk to this person because I need them to buy something from me, or I need to, like I need something from them.
Money. Yeah.
Right, exactly. But if the intent is actually much different, right? Like if networking, all it is was like, how can I help this person? Let me introduce myself and like see if this person needs some help in any way. And maybe, the product or service you have could be the thing that helps them, but maybe not. Maybe it's somebody else who can help them, or just saying a kind word, or just like you said, keeping in contact. So now you just have this person, whether they're following you on social media, or like if you actually have their actual phone number or something like that, or email address, then now the idea is that you can reach back out to them, and maybe later down the road, you guys find that there's something else that you guys can work together on, or again, maybe they may need your actual products and services, or you just may be able to help them in another way. Sorry. So for me, as I sit here, I am really blown away by a different way of looking at how to network, instead of just like, what can this person do for me? But it seems very clear that like your honest gut, your internal motivation is just to see like, okay, well, like, how can I help this person?
Absolutely.
Well, what came up for me is I thought about the fact that in my, I guess the way I would look at it normally is it feels very transactional. And I noticed that even when even personal training or just acquiring new clients in that business, I remember when it's changed from, to your point, what could I get from these people? And even something as simple as saying, hey, maybe I'm not the person to work with you, but here's somebody I can recommend you to. You know what I mean? So it also spoke to the mindset of like abundant and scarcity. It's like if I know that there's more than enough people, and anybody, I know a lot of our audience is in network marketing or that type of industry. There's so many people to show, right? Like literally every day somebody's born who at some point is gonna get like shown your business or whatever it is. And if you have a mindset that there's more than enough, you don't have this scarcity mindset, then it doesn't feel like you have to sell them anything. To Peter's point, now you can look at it and approach it from a place of, well, how can I serve you? Or how can we mutually benefit from something? Like I know your product or service is gonna benefit these people, but beyond that, beyond that sale, where could this be? Because it sounds like a lot of the relationships that you've built may not have anything to do with what we were doing at one point.
I agree. Yeah, there's different ways of looking at it every day, and we meet successful people. We meet regular. Every day. There's
apparently him and Will Ferrell are BFFs.
Yeah.
I can't wait to get into that stuff.
Lots of BFFs, but we meet people every day, and you never know how they're going to help, how you're going to help, how you're going to inspire, how they're going to inspire, and what they do after their traditional 9 to 5s, or before and after, each situation, each interaction. I try to keep in touch with people for birthdays and holidays and events, and just randomly check on people from time to time. And over the years, it's been able to build a massive network on multiple social media platforms of over 10,000 followers and connections, and you never know who's watching and who you're inspiring. So I try to share content that I like, and if you like it and you want to share it, so be it. And if I see other people who are sharing positive things, I like to also share, tag, and comment, and let them know, hey, what you're doing is really positive. Thank you for sharing it. And then I share it with my audiences, and it goes full circles. And you never know from social media where your message is going to be put out eventually.
Yeah.
So it's
oh no, this we gotta get more details. Get your pen, people. I got some questions right now. All right.
So absolutely.
No, and here's my reason, because a lot of us are recognizing that social media is something you got to take part in. Obviously, we're on multiple platforms right now doing this. How do you? Well, one, there's the whole growing your audience part.
Yeah.
But once you have, as you're building that, how do you get across? I'm be careful what I say. How do you get across? And I guess without being salesy, or you know what I mean, like. How do you get people to buy in? Maybe I'm not using the right vernacular, but buying into you. Like how did that happen to you? And I also want to couple that with, you're obviously a part of our industry.
Yeah.
What got you into that? So two different questions.
Sure. I'll do the second part first, if that's okay.
Right. Yeah.
So I think we've all been in the industry of business, whether we work for ourselves or somebody else. We all have to maintain an income in order to keep the lights on.
Yeah.
So, everybody's in the industry of working, whether they start a business or not, and meeting people is just natural, whether you have an online business or a storefront or you're just going outside, you're meeting people constantly in everything that you do. But specifically network marketing, I got involved over the years with, various products with friends of mine that cared about me and that I cared about. And tailoring into the first part of your question is, it's more about, for me, building the relationships than, hey, can I have $1? Can I get a quick buck or two? I have something awesome that I have to show you. And people join you based off of your passion and your commitment to what you're doing. And they feel that, what you're doing is positive and they want to be a part of it. They love you and they love what you're doing. And that's why they become business partners or customers or both within your business or organization. So essentially, to me, the relationship comes first. And because I have so many different hats and funnels, I like to learn about people before I decide to share what I do, because it could be confusing. This guy's like, you have 20 jobs. It's like, no, I do what I'm passionate about. And I have a lot of hats and I have a lot of ways that I kind of maneuver like the ocean and the waves that come in and out. And I've been blessed that I've been able to create so many opportunities for myself and others. I meet people, like I said, every day and try to keep in contact with as many of them as possible. Obviously, algorithms are constantly changing on social media. Yeah. And unless you have everybody's, phone number and email in a direct message going out consistently, it's hard to keep constant contact, because everything it just piles up and messages overlap and images and pictures. And, sometimes people get distracted of what the real cause is. But if you are genuine with people when you meet them and you remain transparent and you let them know, hey, I'm a coach, I'm a motivator, I'm a personal trainer, I work out every day, this amount of times, if you're looking for a gym, if you're looking for a basketball court, if you're looking for a playground, if your kids need to be mentored, like, I got you. And, they may just be meeting you, but then they go and they look you up on social media and they're like, oh, this guy's serious. He coaches, NBA and athletes and professional athletes and their families. And he's the real deal. He's doing it. And people will just naturally find that positivity, and they'll connect with you like a magnet, and you won't know them from a hole in the wall. And, you'll be helping them or they'll be helping you sometimes more than people you've known your entire life, and including your closest friends and families. And I have a lot of close friends and families that they have no idea what I do for a living. They're like, what does he do? Like, how is he on 30 Rock on SNL again? It's like, it's like, how is he in this movie and that thing? And it's like, I just, I find something that I'm passionate about and I run with it. And if I could open up more doors and more opportunities for others and their families, I share it. Knowledge and information is power at the end of the day. And we need to continue to educate ourselves and people around us, because there is so much violence and negativity and the hate and war going around everywhere in the world. And, the world does need a lot of love,
See, I love that, because it sounds like you're using your even like the social media more like a resume.
Exactly.
This is who I am, and then they go, because who ain't out there right now googling people like Peter Spano?
Right. A lot.
No, even in a romantic setting, people are googling people before they go on dates. You're like, even if you actually go for a job, I've heard of people who don't get the job because they go and see you passed out on your social media page, and you would think that one thing has nothing to do with the other, but we've moved into a completely different space now.
Exactly.
Right? So people are checking facts. I won't even get into this. I was going to say something about this Johnny Depp thing, but it's wild.
That'll be on overtime.
Yeah, we'll definitely. I'll drop that little tidbit on overtime and ask you guys your thoughts, because some of this stuff I'm seeing is actually very interesting. Okay, so go ahead.
Okay. So I have another question. So I'm curious, where did this come from? Like, you weren't just like born and you were like, hello, I'm just gonna like introduce myself to everyone that I meat, right? Like,
actually it was. I think it's the movie Look Who's Talking Now, where the baby just comes out.
Yeah.
No, but like I said, I just had a really great parents, a lot of family who cared about me, who got me involved in the community and sports and philanthropy at a very early age. And we grew up with very little, but we still had a lot to give. And we always had a lot to learn, and we were able to help out in so many ways, shapes, and forms, and was just, really inspired through sports and what I was able to absorb growing up, and then to be able to communicate or reiterate that to others. and to get them on board with what you're doing. It's not always the easiest to do, but over time, people will come back and circle back. They'll see your flyer or poster somewhere in the streets or on the internet, or get hit with an ad on their algorithm. And then, they'll come back. Hey, I met that guy a few years ago, or hey, I've known that guy my whole life, and see, so many different inspiring things that you were a part of, and say, hey, the next thing that you have, can you share with me? And, and then I'll add them to the list, and, that we'll all be BFFs forever. So it's magic how it all just unravels. And you won't initially have that intention when you first meet the person, but as you start to learn about them, or they start to learn about you, it just, you reach out to that person on a regular, whether it's a daily, weekly, or monthly basis, check in from them time to time, see if they need anything, see if they want to be a part of something, share with them what you have going on. Maybe your event is the best thing that's ever happened to them, for that period of their life. And, maybe that helps them, start their own events, or yeah, absolutely.
So, I mean, yeah, put a fire emoji in the chat, put a V for value. If this is like hitting you in a different way, like if this is making you change the way that you look at how you network, please let us know, let Pete know that you are learning a lot today. So, okay, going back to your family, right? You said that like your family, humble beginnings, right? Like didn't have a lot, but like you were grateful for what you did have. And so like, do you feel like growing up with your family? Okay, first of all, do you have siblings?
I do.
How many siblings?
Two sisters.
Two sisters. Yeah. Okay. So you're already sharing at this point. I have to ask, right? Because sometimes people are only children. So you're already sharing at that point. But then like, did your family like regularly go out and participate in like, I don't know, soup kitchen? What, like, was there something that you guys did when you were younger?
Yeah, still to this day, we volunteer with local food pantries. I follow Feeding Westchester, and they follow me because they see all of the pantries and things that we've been a part of. And I try and, at least on a once a week basis, go out and just get out and give resources to those in need. And a lot of times people can't make it to pantries, so we'll go and have it delivered to them. Especially if we know people in the areas that aren't able to provide for themselves. It's all about connecting and finding and sharing the resources. Right around the corner from where we are, as I mentioned, it's not the greatest of neighborhoods, but a lot of my younger adult career has been in the area, so I feel almost inclined to have to leave that mark there. And a few years ago, we created this awesome program that through sports was able to attract kids to an area that they used to run away from because it was so bad and violent. Wow. Now they come there, and we have a variety of like mental health programs, and we bring other nonprofit and business professionals. We put basketballs in the back of police cars, and they come out and play basketball with kids. And it's an anti-violence or violence and gang prevention program. And we usually run it for 6 consecutive Saturdays at a time in the outdoor playgrounds that we build. And in the winter times, we refacilitate similar programs with new partners in some of our partners' facilities. So we'll bring kids into the YMCA or the PAL, and we'll try and get some of their favorite players or celebrities to come out and just be a part of it. Just be a part of what we're doing and come out and tell their friends and family.
Wow. All
right. So for those of you who don't know, like we said in the beginning, we have 25 minutes to answer the question. The timer just went off, so the 25 minutes are up. We are going to continue this conversation into overtime. Again, please go follow Peter. So I think we just put his Instagram down at the bottom. Yes, he's a real person. As you heard, you can reach out to him. You can go in the DMs and reach out and see how you guys can connect. And who knows, like what, like the sky's the limit, right? Like you never know how, like you may end up being able to help each other.
Absolutely.
There's this website.
Before we go, I wanted to bring that actually back up before we leave. What do you want to take? What question do you want to go into overtime?
I'm sorry, say that again.
What question did you want to go into overtime?
Well, I would love to know how. Okay, so you talked to us a little bit about like how you grew up with this mentality to like want to give and want to serve and help others, but then I would want to know like if there was like one thing, the like top of mind thing that you were just I don't know, that you almost wish you would have like capitalized on earlier to kind of like bring your servant nature with your business mindset? Like, what's that one thing that you feel like you wish you would have known, or you would have like capitalized on earlier? But he's going to answer that in overtime. Are you going to show the website one more time, or?
No.
Okay. So one other thing that Pete just wanted to announce is an event. So if you want to meet Peter in person, you have the opportunity to do that.
10 days from today, we're actually restarting an early detection for cancer project with our Rotary Club. More details and information at Rotary Club or Rotary Hudson Valley. That's ROTARY Hudson HUDSON Valley VALLEY.org. We have an early detection for breast cancer project that's going on at the downtown Yonkers Riverfront Library from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. And if you miss it this Saturday, we'll be running the program every other Saturday, same time from now until October, going into Breast Cancer Awareness Month. You know, we've helped a couple of 100 women last year, and we're looking to continue that with our sports programs this summer.
So it's been an absolute blessing.
Yes.
If you don't want to run out and go help somebody right now, I know what's
really.
Right this second, as soon as we get off the podcast.
Like jump off right now, go help the next person you see in the street. Just hold their hand across the street. Let's go help some grandmothers across some streets right now. No, this was absolutely a blessing. Peter, thank you so much. Guys, let Peter know, just again in the chat before we leave, guys, if you're on IG with us, let him know. Definitely go follow him immediately, and let's get people out to that event. That was big.
Thank you. Thank you, brother.
Absolutely. No, thank you, brother. All right.
And as always,
remember,
you deserve a good life. Say that.
All right, guys. We'll see you in overtime.
See you in overtime.
Thank you.